So why does God allow suffering? See, we all face hardships, setbacks, and downright devastating circumstances. And when those storms come, it's easy to question, even shake our fists at heaven and ask God, why me? Why now? Why does a good God allow bad things to happen to good people? Well, it's a question that's echoed throughout the ages, from Job's ashes to the horrors committed during World War II. And it's a question that deserves a thoughtful, honest, and biblically grounded response. Now, I'm not going to pretend to have all the answers. Some mysteries are simply beyond our finite comprehension, but what I can offer is a different perspective, a way to reframe the question that might lead to a renewed way of thinking. First off, let's ditch the idea that good people are immune to suffering. The Bible is filled with stories of righteous individuals facing unimaginable trials. Joseph was sold into slavery, Daniel was thrown into the lion's den, Paul was imprisoned and beaten, and even Jesus, the sinless one, perfect and good, faced unimaginable suffering on the cross. So if suffering isn't a sign of God's displeasure, then what is it? Well, it's complicated. Sometimes suffering is the result of our own choices or the sinful actions of others. Sometimes it's the consequence of us living just in a fallen, broken, sinful world. And sometimes it's simply a mystery, a part of God's mysterious plan that we may never fully understand on this side of eternity. But regardless of all that, one thing is certain. Suffering isn't the end of the story. God doesn't waste our pain. He redeems it. He uses it to refine us, to strengthen us, to draw us closer to Him. And as Romans 8:28 says, and we know that all things work together for the good of those who love God, who have been called according to His purpose. Now, that doesn't mean that we should rejoice in suffering or that we should love what we go through in our pain, but it does mean it's okay to grieve, it's okay to lament, it's okay to ask God the hard questions. But despite all of that, we can take confidence and know that even in our pain, even in our suffering, that God is redeeming it, that He's using it, that it's not going to waste, but that He's using it for something greater, something powerful. It means that we can trust God even in our pain, that He's repurposing it and redeeming it. So the next time you're facing a trial, don't let it shake your faith. Instead, lean into God. Seek His face. Remember that you're not alone in your suffering, that God is using it for a greater purpose beyond the purview of what you can currently see, that His name is Emmanuel, God with us. God knows how to vindicate you. He knows how to make up for what you've been through. Because when faith meets fire, it doesn't get extinguished. It gets refined. It gets hotter. It burns brighter and more radiant than ever before. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.